Imagine Pornhub being taken offline, and the people who ran the site and the people who create videos and upload them to the site, especially videos that have nothing to do with porn and are possibly Minecraft Let's Plays, arrested for sexual assault. And Pornhub being illegal to operate. And due to the sensitive complaints coming from people in which Pornhub's audience does not cater to. That would suck. And, alright. The porn industry would be damaged. However, let's keep on going. Now let's talk about forms of entertainment. Now, forms of entertainment has this heart called the industry. Now, in order for the industry to keep it pumping, to keep it living, keep it alive, otherwise the form of entertainment is dead, there has to be movies that pretty much cater to multiple audiences in order to attract these multiple audiences and to coexist into the movie industry and be heavily influenced into the movies they like to watch. And so that way, the box office dollars, all that stuff, keeps the film industry going well. Oh, wow, I accidentally spoiled that much. But anyway, let's talk about films, for example. We have Disney Pixar films. They're meant for younger audiences. They're meant for the people who take families out to the movies. The comic book movies, they cater to audiences who are like way behind the comics. Yeah, that's right. And they're audiences who read the comics, who like to see their comic book characters come to life. They're into action, they're into like action movies and etc. That kind of stuff. Alright, you have Wolf of Wall Street, that caters to like older audiences. It caters to people who are into wacky humor. It caters to people who are in mature humor, edgy humor, etc. and so forth. Okay, now let's talk about gaming. Now, the game industry. Alright, now video games is a form of entertainment. And, however, it has a heart as well, and it is the video game industry. So, however, and you gotta really have to understand, in order for the game industry to stay alive, it has to cater to like multiple audiences. Same with movies. Okay? Alright, when Mortal Kombat came out, it was meant to cater to the older audiences. It is meant to cater to the guys who are into the goofy ways to destroy their opponents virtually. It caters to the audience who are complete fighting game fanatics. It caters to audiences who are curious to see wackiest ways to get murdered. And these audiences sitting around here, hell, I do not want to fuck with Raiden. Because if I try to fuck with Raiden, there's a high chance he'll use his thunder and lightning skills to blow my fucking head off. So fuck that. I'm not fucking with Raiden, but Raiden's badass. Okay. And let's talk about the Dead or Alive series. Alright, so the Dead or Alive main series. They cater to, of course, hardcore fighting game fanatics. It caters to tournament players. It caters to, of course, fighting game fanatics. It caters to arcade gaming fanatics. It caters to people who like ninjas, because Dead or Alive is filled with characters who are actually ninjas. It caters to martial arts enthusiasts. It caters to people who are fanatics of the Dead or Alive series, female characters, which I will get to that later. It pretty much caters to people who are really good at rig. It caters to there's multiple audiences that the Dead or Alive series caters to. Now let's talk about its spin-off series, the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball series. Now, the Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball series are spin-offs. Okay? So, because it's a spin-off, they can go to whatever direction they go, as long as they're careful. Now, when it came to the Dead or Alive Extreme series, it is a beach sports simulator. So, yes, a beach sports simulator. Alright. This is obviously meant to cater to people who are, of course, beach sports enthusiasts, people who are attracted to women, of course, older males, people who are heavily interested, people who heavily praise the Dead or Alive female characters. I mean, that's the main reason why Dead or Alive Extreme exists, because there was high appraisal towards the female characters. And because of the appraisal, Itagaki decided, hey, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. And then the Dead or Alive Extreme series was born. To ban Dead or Alive Extreme is to pretty much screw over the audiences the series caters to. It makes it pretty much impossible. It makes it difficult for these audiences to coexist in the industry. And these audiences need to pretty much coexist in this industry as well, in order for this industry to pretty much have its heart, keep the industry pumping like the heart, because that's what it actually is. It's like the heart. And to ban Dead or Alive is to screw over these fighting game fanatics, to screw over these martial arts enthusiasts, to screw over these people who are into ninjas, to screw over these kind of things. And it makes it difficult for these audiences to pretty much coexist in the industry, because these audiences need to pretty much as hell coexist. Not coexist. Oh, I already got it right. Coexist in the industry to basically be alive, of course. The industry is like a heart. It needs to keep pumping. It needs to be keeping on pumping. Without its blood veins, those are the audiences, it can't survive. And gaming is dead. If the Legend of Zelda games gets censored out of existence and nobody can't have any Legend of Zelda games because of a damsel in distress trope, it screws over the shitload of audiences who are attracted to the Zelda series in the first place. Now, say what you want about Nintendo, or what Nintendo does now, but to be honest with you, The Legend of Zelda is a pretty damn famous franchise. And what Nintendo's goofy ways, Nintendo's questionable ways, I can put that together, Nintendo's controversial choices, they don't pretty much, they do little to pretty much affect the Legend of Zelda franchise. And the Legend of Zelda franchise stays strong. Why? Because the Legend of Zelda games are just pretty damn good. Everybody loves the shit out of Legend of Zelda. And to have it banned because of a damsel in distress trope is going to be a sad day for gaming. And it is a heavy impact on the game industry. And it screws over Nintendo. Because there's their key best-selling franchise. The game industry is going through a type of censorship. A censorship that is bad for developers' creativities. And not only that, it screws over audiences, and it makes it more and more difficult for the audiences one game caters to pretty much coexist in the game industry, to pretty much benefit another audience who are sensitive to this game, and etc. Now, what's going on is, when it comes to Street Fighter V, we have Armika's butt slap censored out, we have Cammy's intro thing censored out. It wasn't being harmed. However, Capcom decided to censor that out so they would prevent the backlash of the audiences, and let's be honest, would not end up playing Street Fighter anyway. I mean, just think about that. And when Dead or Alive Extreme 3 couldn't come to the West, the people who are fanatics of the female characters in Dead or Alive are pretty much screwed over. And it can get pretty much worse. I mean, everyone in every single audience in the game industry cannot coexist because the game's being censored out to pretty much benefit the sensitivities of another audiences that this game probably doesn't even fucking cater to anyway. When it comes to governments going out of their own way and doing random kinds of censorship, we stand against it. It's wrong. No, no, no. But the type of censorship that video games are actually going through, it's not coming from the government. No. It's actually coming from one of our own. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is, I'm a consumer. You're a consumer. We're all consumers. And there's these certain types of... And then there's a certain group of consumers banding together to make sure that that game is censored. It makes consumers look like complete hypocrites. Let's be honest here. Video games are forms of entertainment. The game industry has pretty much evolved, and they're games that cater to each multiple audience, each batch of audience, each individual audience, etc. And you know what? And when it comes to forms of entertainment, it's meant for fun. And when people play video games, they have fun. Everybody who plays video games has fun. So after a long day of work, they come home and wind themselves down to some good old Madden. They're having fun with it. When everybody is getting out of their own way, playing Pokemon and catching Pokemon and sending them out to battle, they're having a good time. That's what video games are supposed to do. Make sure that the player has fun. But when it comes to stuff like politics, where politics don't even fit into entertainment at all, it gets shoved in there. And when it gets shoved in there, it gets in the way. You have to delve into the world of politics to see whether or not these games are able to exist. The games you play. And when it comes to the video game censorship that we're going through, if it gets worse, the fun's going to be cut in half. Games are going to stop being fun most of the time. And that's a problem, because video games as a form of entertainment equals fun. If there's a game that you're eyeing on, and you don't like this game altogether, or this game offends you, and you're sensitive to this game, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You have the option of not buying it. But, however, if you see these other people enjoying these games, okay, because here's the thing, a friend of mine said it on his Vine, other people, like Review Tech USA has said this, and what they're trying to mean is the game that you're sensitive to isn't made to pretty much cater to you or the audience you're in. The game that these audiences, the other people who are enjoying, that's what the game's actually targeted towards. But, however, you can't just go out of the blue and make sure that everybody else doesn't have the option to buy that game that's targeted for them and enjoy that game that's targeted for them. Especially not, I mean, have this game censored out of the existence and have this audience screwed over, have this audience not be able to coexist because your sensitivities has to come first. It doesn't work that way. to be honest with you. That's the thing. That's what they're trying to say. And I'm going to be blunt with you. If you keep doing this, you're going to make things worse. It's not wise. I've seen something completely fucking worse. It could go pretty much worse. I mean, censorship, as bookmans have pointed out, is the death of an idea. And pretty much 100%, I have to agree with bookmans on this. But however, there's another reason. When it's censorship, it can get worse. It's not wise. It's not a good idea at all. It's actually fucked up anyways. But however, it could lead to some serious consequences. And yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Any form of action, either morally good, morally bad, financially a good idea, financially a bad idea, whatever, they have consequences as well. Every action you do has consequences. And it may affect only you, or it may affect you and other people. And I hate to beat around the dead horse again. Let's say there's a craze where people are shoving pizzas up their assholes. And parents and people who are upset about it and are very concerned about this practice they don't want this stuff anymore, so pizzas are banned because of that. Now let's go ahead and bring up Pornhub again. What if Pornhub is censored out of existence? It can be very damaging for the porn industry because Pornhub contributes a lot to the porn industry, and there's a shit ton of people who go to Pornhub. And videos on Pornhub, or of course they're going to be porn because Pornhub. But however, this group of people band together and have Pornhub censored because of sensitivities having to come first. I'm sensitive to this project. I do not like this existing. And I don't like that other people are enjoying what I'm offended by. So as a result, Pornhub is censored, illegal to operate. There's a shit ton of people who go to Pornhub. I mean, these shit ton of people who go to Pornhub are going to be fucked over. And shit, it's going to be a sad day for the porn industry, but it's going to be a sad day for people who like porn. It's going to be a sad day for people who go to Pornhub. I mean, I don't frequent Pornhub, but I know people go to Pornhub, and Pornhub statistics in regards to visitors are pretty much high. Alright? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. A shit ton of people go to Pornhub. A sexy video game character should not be considered a controversy. Actually, what needs to be considered controversies more are terrible, piss-poor PC ports, terrible day one launches when games release with a shit ton of bugs, they release unfinished, the rise of these cold-hearted microtransactions, oh my goodness, and not to mention, when the online pass came out, this was meant to combat used game sales, but a lot of people got pissed off about it, and no media, no forms of entertainment covered on that, and saying, oh, it's the controversial online pass. Everybody can play online. If you buy it used, you have to pay $10. Yeah. That was kind of fucked up. I mean, everybody was so pissed off at people who shelled out the online pass. It's a good thing that the online pass is completely fucking dead. Anyway, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video.